Hey guys, this is Stephanie Lincoln with Fireteam Whiskey, and today's Warrior Wellness video is about creating powerful habits. So, of course, this is a super important topic when it comes to getting healthy and getting fit. It's all about creating new habits and making these lifestyle changes permanent in your life. So, why am I talking about this today? Because I have a master's degree in counseling psychology. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm an expert at behavior change. So I have specialized training in not only helping people change their lives, but specifically when it comes to health and fitness, I can help my clients and you through this Warrior Wellness video, how to change those behaviors in order to make sure that your goals, your health and fitness goals, are smashed. So here is the reason why we talk about this. Think back at how many times you have gone on a diet or tried to eat healthy or get fitter, get in shape, and fail. And gyms are basically paid for by the people who are not in the facility rather than the people who actually use it. So if I went to the gym yesterday, the people who were there are always the same people who are there, and none of us in there are paying for that gym. It's the people who are not showing up every day who are paying for that gym. So this world is full of people who make well-intentioned goals to achieve, but are never able to achieve them because they have not learned how to create good habits. So I'm going to teach you those secrets today. So I love this quote. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So what we are teaching you is not about, being successful and being fit and being healthy. It's about creating this consistency in your life in order to create that long-term achievement. All right, so you need to form those habits first. So here are the good habits, golden rules. So we're going to go through these individually, but I'm going to read these to you. What we do every day matters more than what we do once in a while. Make it easy to do right and hard to do wrong. Love that one. Focus on actions, not outcomes. By giving something up, we may gain. It's easier to change our surroundings than ourselves. You can only manage what you monitor. And then the last one is begin now. So this is, some of these items are borrowed from an awesome book. So if you're a reader, and if you're not a reader, you still need to get this book. It's called Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. And she is an expert in behavior change and habits and personality types and how to kind of make permanent changes in your life. I would recommend that you pick up this book. So this Good Habits, Golden Rules is partially borrowed from her with my twist on things, of course. So let's look at the first one. So what we do every day matters more than what we do once in a while, okay? So this is the biggest reason why diets and gyms fail for people. So what happens? You're all gung-ho for about 2 weeks. Then you start, kind of finding some reasons not to stick with those behaviors that you decided you were going to change. And then basically a couple months later, you are completely right back where you were when you started. So most people are not willing to put in the consistency for long-term success. I love this equation. Consistency plus time equals success. So many people are just focused on how can I lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time, or they're only focused on the short-term change, their short-term goals. And this is why diets fail. It's because they set you up for failure. They focus you only on the short term. You may have a little success or even a lot of success, but they don't set you up to be able to maintain those behaviors over a long term. So that's why I created the Fire Team Whiskey eating plans to progress you, and the fitness plans to progress you. So it's not all at once an extreme behavior change for you. It's about making small changes and being consistent about them over a long period of time, while gradually challenging yourself and progressing yourself more and more along that journey. So it creates that consistency. That's why it's 30 days long, okay? And it creates that time. It gives you a time period to focus on, but a big chunk, and then you're going to continue to progress along the way. People do not have patience. And in this world of ours with the instant gratification, people want short-term solutions and are not focused on the long-term issue and long-term solutions. So if that's what you're looking for with Fire Team Whiskey, you can go somewhere else, because that's not what we're about, okay? So think about it, a short game versus a long game. You have to have both, but in order for you to not lose all of those gains, think about how successful you were in your 22 caliber program. Maybe you lost 10 pounds. Maybe you, are wearing 3 sizes smaller than you did. Maybe you just freaking feel better and you're sleeping better. And you have like endless energy. So think about all of those things that you got in that first 30 days with your 22 caliber program. And then you just picking up all those things and just taking it, throwing it in the trash. That's basically what a short-term focus does. You are definitely guaranteed to completely lose all of those gains that you worked so hard for, which is horrible because I know you did work very hard. So let's look at the long game. And here is since I'm a hiker, this is my metaphor I use all the time for this. So when I'm about to do a long hike and I'm standing there at the base, this is where I parked. I just put my pack on. I'm looking at my map. I know my route. I'm standing at the base because usually you're going up for a long time when you first start hiking. And I look up. And I focus on where I know I need to be. And if I focus only on that and go, oh my gosh, it is so high. You know how many hours it's going to take for me to get up there? And I have a full pack here. So it's the heaviest it's going to be in my whole trip. And now I've got to walk for hours up there, and I know it's going to suck, and I'm going to be sweating, and my legs are going to be shaking, and it's just going to be endless agony. You think if I just stood there and ruminated on all of the reasons why this is going to be so damn hard to get up there, why would I take that first step, right? So that's what a lot of people do with their goals, is they look at this huge goal and they just can't stop thinking about it and looking at it and ruminating on it and how hard is it going to be, and they can never take that first step. Or maybe they take a first few steps and then it's confirmed that it does suck and they go right back to the car and go to the nearest hotel. So what I like to do is just look down. Focus on the step in front of you. If I see that first step in front of me and only focus on that and go, okay, there's like a rock in my way. I should probably maybe, make sure to keep my balance, use my hiking sticks here. But I can take that first step. It's only a few inches. It's not that hard. And just look at each step along the way and just focus and keep my head down and just look down and just focus on that next step. The next step is always a lot easier than the millions of steps it's going to take to get us up there. So are you going to look down or are you going to look up in this journey? Make the right choice your only choice. This is my favorite one out of these golden rules. So I do this in my life because I am a convenience person. I like convenience, which is why I created the fuel ration bars and spec ops shakes, because I am all about a quick, easy, fast, keep my life going. I don't need to think about it. I don't need to spend hours meal prepping and making recipes and doing this and doing that. And I've got to remember my lunchbox. I like quick, easy things. So this is my favorite one out of the golden rules. Make it easier to do the right thing and so much harder to do the wrong thing. And this is why fast food restaurants are so popular. And this is why this girl right here used to eat fast food every single day, because it was convenient, right? So it's all about fast, quick, easy. And I can't be bothered with, planning out my day. So my hack is to have my spec ops shakes and my fuel ration bars on hand everywhere I go. So if I get in a bind and I need something quick and easy and to go, I know where it is. I get it. It's a no-brainer. So you need to set up your environment to make it very, very hard to do the wrong thing. So that means don't have, things that you're not supposed to be eating and that are not on your plan in your desk drawer at work. Or in your cabinets at home. And that's like the crazy mind-blowing thing about when I first start working with clients and I go into their home. Sometimes I do like the pantry raid kind of thing. And I go, okay, look at this Oreos and this and that and all these things that are not on plan. Oh, well, I didn't even know they were in there. Or I was just keeping them in there. Or they're for my husband or my kids. Okay, well, then you're not setting up your environment and you're not making it easier to do the right thing than the wrong thing. It's easy to do the wrong thing in an environment like that. So you need to set up your environment to support you doing the right thing. So when you put time, distance, and lack of access in your way as obstacles, then you're more likely going to be successful, because doing the wrong thing is going to be so much harder than doing the right. Okay? So I call it the driver walk of shame. So in my home, we are not allowed to have like things that are off plan, right? And so for us, if I'm going to make a conscious decision to go off my eating plan, I need to physically get dressed, get in my car, go down the road, at least, the nearest place is, there's a gas station maybe 5 minutes away. Okay, so maybe I could go to a gas station. But that puts time, distance, and lack of access in my way. I have to overcome all three things in order to get to that gas station to get those ho-hos or whatever. So I call it the driver walk of shame, or the walk to the vending machine, or whatever. You have to think about it and make that conscious decision to go do the wrong thing. So maybe on my drive, I might say, or maybe as I'm getting in the car, I might say, or maybe as I'm walking to the vending machine, I might say, because I'm giving myself some time to think about it instead of just, boom, got it, it's in my mouth. I didn't even stop to think. Wow, this is shameful. I'm going out of my way to sabotage my goals. Why am I doing this to myself? I need to really evaluate what's going on with me today. So it gives you that chance to stop in your tracks and go do the right thing. Action. Focus on actions, not outcomes. So this is why I'm not a big fan of the scale, because people get so wrapped up about that number. And basically the scale tells you how much gravity is pushing down on you at that moment. That's it. It doesn't tell you anything else. It doesn't tell you how hard you're working. It It doesn't tell you how much planning went into where you're at right now. It doesn't tell you how much better you're sleeping, how much better your skin looks, how much better you feel, how your clothes sizes are, and your pants are falling off because your body composition is changing so much. That scale is not telling you any of that. So I'm not a big fan of the scale. I want you to really focus on, again, that one step. It's 1 yard at a time. I can tell you with my journey, I've been doing the keto eating lifestyle in basic cycles on and off for almost 1.5 years now. And my body composition continues to change. So if I would have quit 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 1 year ago, because I wasn't where I'm at right now, that would have been devastating, and that would have been the worst decision, right? So now I have perspective because I am a 1.5 years later looking back and going, wow, the change was slow, but I'm still continuing to see beneficial changes in my life from following this lifestyle and that time and consistency that I've put into this journey, right? So I have been focusing on that first step and that next step and the next step and the next step, because my small actions every single day times 1,000,000, 1,000, 100 equals huge change. So 1.5 years later, I've had huge change, and I can't wait to see another 1.5 years from now. So I know if I just keep focusing on just my actions on a daily basis and having those small actions equal up to and add up to a huge change, right? The next one, by giving something up, we may gain. So you may be like, what are you talking about? She's talking about giving up? Like what's happening? What is this? So this is a huge lesson for a lot of people who are trying to make change. First of all, you can't do it all. So you may have a long list of things you'd like to change about your health and fitness. Some of them may never be attainable. Some of them may not be attainable now. Some of them may not be attainable in the next 5-10 years. And that can be very disheartening for people. But I want you to focus more on this. So remember those, okay, now I'm showing my age. But remember those pictures from the 90s that you know, when you went to the mall, remember those traditional malls? I think they're still around. But those pictures from the 90s, you had to stand there and stare at. And remember the first time you saw one, you're like looking at everybody else and you're like, I don't see it. What are you talking about? Like, there's a shark there? What? I don't see it. What do you? And then you stare and then you try and figure it out and you're like, there's a trick to it. There's a trick to it. I've got to figure it out. And you stand there and stand there and stand there. And then, aha, you finally see it. And you're like, oh my God, there's a shark there. And you figured out there was a trick that you had to do. You couldn't focus on finding the shark, right? If you're just trying to find the shark, maybe there's an outline there. I'm looking for, okay, maybe there's a snout. No, you had to kind of step back and kind of let your eyes relax and not focus, right? The key was to not focus and to just take the entire picture in. So sometimes inaction is the best action. So sometimes we have to maybe just focus on one goal for right now and let the other ones sit and not focus on those for right now. And then, so here's what happens when you kind of give up that attempt to focus on everything else. Then you can laser focus on that one thing and see the shark. So I want you to understand that sometimes when we put 100% of our effort into 50 things, then that one item each one item is only going to get 2% of your effort. But if you focus down 100% of your effort on one thing, then yes, those 49 other things are not going to get done. But you damn well are making sure that that one thing is getting done. And once that's established, you can move on to item number 48 and so on. Work with yourself and not against. This was covered in my nutritional psychology talk back in the 22 caliber warrior wellness. So if you missed that, or you skipped that, or you have no idea what I'm talking about, after you watch this, go back and watch that. So this was another Gretchen Rubin approach. So this is why I'm a behavior change expert, and this is what I'm sharing you as a secret for you to hack into your own behavior change. You need to know what your habit personality is. There's 4. So it's not going to be hard to figure out. You have a whole worksheet and everything. So make sure you go back and do that and figure that out. So you are working with your personality and not against. So this is a big reason why when people make goals and they feel like they're banging their head up against a brick wall over and over and over again, they can make no headway. It's because they're approaching habit change in a way that they think is supposed to work. And it's actually working completely against their nature and their personality. We can't change our nature, guys. So you have to know yourself and your habit personality and approach it in that way. So work with yourself and not against. That makes sense. And sometimes you have to redecorate your life. You can't change who you are, right? You can't. So you need to change the things that you can around you. So again, going back to creating that it easier to do the right thing than the wrong thing. Sometimes you have to redecorate your life to make sure that you're spending time with people who support your health and fitness efforts. Yeah, think about that for a second. That you are going places that support your health and fitness efforts. That you maybe have to let go of some things that don't support your health and fitness efforts, i.e. playing video games for hours and hours at a time, sitting on your butt. So, we may have things that we love to do or have people that we love to spend time with, but sometimes we have to kind of change those things or reduce those things in order to create the environment that is working with us and not against us. All right? So you can't expect to just, try and stroke your arms and swim in the air. You need to get in the damn water. So that means your environment has to change. You can only manage what you monitor. So those of you who are in the military and first responders, you've probably heard this a million times. If you didn't write it down, it didn't happen. So you know what you know, right? You don't know what you don't know. So this is the biggest issue that I have when I'm working with our participants is if you complain about not seeing results, but you're not able to tell me, A, where you started, B, what you've been doing, and C, what changes have happened, then we're shooting in the dark. So basically you're giving me a target. I want to hit this, but we're in the pitch black. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'm just going to start shooting. I don't know. I only have so many bullets. So you need to focus down on the data. You need to track. We give you those sheets for a reason in the 22 caliber, and then in the 38 caliber, we're asking you to track your macros. So that means you have to track your macros. There's no question about it. If I ask you where your macros have been in the last week, and you go, well, I don't know, here's what I've eaten, we have no data. So how do we know what's working for you and what's not, and what we need to change? And it helps you with your morale. When you track things, you can look back and see the trends. You can look back and see, when did I feel the best? When was my body fat really consistently burning? When was I feeling really fantastic in my workouts? When was I sleeping really well? When was I, feeling like I need to get a new pair of pants because they're falling off of me all day at work? You need to write that stuff down, because that means you can look back and see all the successes. And then when you're not seeing successes, be able to go back to change those behaviors for around those times when you were seeing those successes. And then it also gives you something to focus on a daily basis. So if you have no idea where your sweet spot with your macros are, then what is your goal for that day? I don't know, I'm just going to choose some percentages. No, I choose the percentages that I know make me feel fantastic, and I try to meet those, right? I'm not just shooting in the dark here. It helps me focus. So again, I can create that consistency that adds up to huge change. Yes, now. Do it now. Go, do it. What are you waiting for? There's no such thing as waiting here. Nope, we don't do it. We don't do it in Fire Team Whiskey. It's not, I'm going to wait till Monday. Or, maybe after the summer is a better time. Yes, you do it now. That's why we open our window for a certain amount of time, and we start at a certain amount of time. Because we're not waiting on you. We are doing this now. Do it now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Mel Robbins, I get that from Mel Robbins. Pick up her book too. Whenever you are just like hesitant on doing something, or just really are digging your heels in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm doing this. Don't even think about it. The more time you give yourself to think, the more reasons you're going to come up with to not do it. Do it now. That's it. If you haven't done your workout, do it now. Get up, go. You can stop this video right now. So those were your good habit golden rules. They're listed here. Check out the book Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin. She goes into massive detail about how you can work with your habit personality and make a daily change in order to get long-term results. And if I must be a slave to habits, let me be a slave to good habits. So habits can be good, habits can be bad. Let's focus on increasing the number of good habits we have on a daily basis in order to get time and consistency and equal long-term massive change. This is Captain Lincoln with Fire Team Whiskey, and I just brought you your Warrior Wellness video on how to create powerful habits.